Hey, my fans, welcome back to Carl Prusa MMA. I'm Carl Prusa. Today, I am with undefeated top mixed martial arts prospect. He is Mauricio Gomez. Mauricio, what's going on, brother? How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, thank you. I just got out of work. I coach. I've been coaching, for the last like 10 years. I coach at an American Top Team franchise, and I train out of American Top Team Coconut Creek since like 2021. So right now I'm just like on my grind, and yeah, I also teach. So I'm like full-time like coach slash fighter. Yeah.
Let's talk about it a little bit. Obviously, American Top Team for years now, been known as one of the best gyms in the world. I mean, you go in there, it's crazy. Like Amanda Nunes has been in there, Dustin Poirier's in there, Jorge Masvidal's in there, Armin Sarukian's in there, Junior Dos Santos, Mike Brown, if Conan Silveira, Dakota Cheva. I mean, we can do this on and on and on. How did you find your home in American Top Team?
Yeah, so like I said before, I am working at an American Top Team franchise, and my the owner, which is also my teacher and my boss, Rodrigo Baga Ramos. He owns American Top Team Weston and Davie, and he is an OG American Top Team MMA fighter slash Jiu-Jitsu black belt under Conan Silveira. So he actually got his black belt from like Conan, his brother Brutus, Marcelo, and then his name's Marcelo, and then he also got it from Ricardo Laborio. Back when the three of them were all with American Top Team, because at some point they all went their different paths. But yeah, he's technically an OG from those times in the early 2000s, and I pretty much I've had a I was fighting a little bit. I did a few amateur fights before I got my black belt in jiu-jitsu. I got my black belt in 2019, so I remember in 2020, like the COVID restrictions were going down. There wasn't as many, restrictions. Fighting was coming back into South Florida, and I won an amateur title, but at the same time, I felt a little like, like, oh, like I spent so much time like focusing on just jujitsu, and I had helped with so many camps, like coming up doing jujitsu. So like I was always doing a little bit of striking, but like I just I kept doing those fights, but after like I won an amateur title, I was like, man, I need to maybe take a step back from this because this is a lot, because I don't think I'm doing the right prep. I don't think I have, like it's just different because I'm used to being the coach, and like I didn't have as much room to grow where I was at, so I needed more room to grow, and because of COVID, they weren't letting people in. So in 2021, about like April, I was allowed to try out. My coach, he was he put in a good word for me. I tried out, I made the team, and from there I started working on my striking a lot and my wrestling, and I worked towards becoming a pro, and I made my pro debut in 2021. So I it was definitely very it was like an awakening because like I it was something new for me because like I had never been like I was like the small fish again pretty much, so I really enjoy that, and it's like being a student all over again. So and I still love it right now, so I'm super excited to keep pursuing this.
In addition to having a great mixed martial arts career so far, you've also done a lot of things in the world of jiu-jitsu, won championships competing in jiu-jitsu. Is that just something, was that very natural, your transition into learning BJJ?
Uh, yeah, kinda. I knew when I started training when I was 15, so like I knew I wanted to, like get into doing it because I remember doing kung fu when I was a kid, and then I went back to that old gym that I went to, and I wanted to try out like doing combat sports, and then I just got into doing jujitsu, and then the whole MMA world kind of opened up because I didn't realize like that was a thing. So like that was like back in 2013. And so now like fast forward, like I about like I've been with American Top Team for about 11 years, like the franchise, and I've been like, but not with the team that's been almost 4 years, the actual American Top Team.
It's kind of crazy when you think about how much mixed martial arts has grown over the years. I mean, 15, 20 years ago, I mean, people were calling it human cockfighting. It wasn't legal everywhere. People thought this was like literally criminal activity. Not every state allowed it. And now mixed martial arts is one of the biggest sports. It's as culture accepted as football and baseball. At one point, we're relatively the same age. So you probably grew up watching The Ultimate Fighter and, saw it that way. At what point did you really start saying, maybe mixed martial arts is something that I could do competitively and maybe career in?
So like I always had like the martial artist like mindset. So I always knew like, and I always had this idea like, okay, because there's a lot of like the sport of jujitsu has grown so much, but at the same time, there's a lot of jujitsu like competitors, and and they focus on just that, but they're a guy that could just get their ass kicked in a fight. So I just don't really agree with that. And I always knew I wanted to have a fight, at least one before I got my black belt. So like I got my black belt in 2019. I was 21, and I remember I was kind of going through a rough patch in my life, and I was working, I was teaching classes, and like I needed like another outlet. I was trying the jujitsu, and I really wanted to like be pursue jujitsu like professionally, but the opportunity wasn't really there, and like I'm a very loyal guy, and I always knew like I have like potential to do something great with myself. And I was always in my head, I had fighting in the back of my head, like, oh, I could always do it, whenever. But I really want to get good at jujitsu like right now. So I, I just kind of took that step. I do believe if you're gonna be like a black belt in something, you should be able to like defend yourself. So I think jujitsu to like fighting, it just makes perfect sense, to be honest.
You've been on some jiu-jitsu cards that were headlined by Gordon Ryan. What was that experience like to, share a stage with him?
It was cool. We've never interacted, but I have mad respect for him. He's the best to ever do it. So, I really wanted to have a chance to like I'd love to have a chance to just like be on the mats and like train with his team. I remember in 2021 I was kind of like, again, it was like after COVID, I was like trying to find a way to make my path into like doing something professionally, because I had the passion and I had the talent for it. But I was trying to actually like join New Wave for a little bit. Like I was trying to like get into connection with some people, and it just wasn't really there. And so, but the American Top Team girl was always there, and that it resonated with me, and I liked it because it was like staying in the family technically. So it just made the most sense, and I find it very like, it's, like in sports, merit is like is held very highly, and I definitely like I definitely see it, but I still have my eyes on jujitsu with certain things. Like I know I can't focus on, especially where I'm heading right now. I'm doing all right in my career. I'm doing pretty well, but if I want to keep doing that, I can't keep my eyes on just jujitsu. It's kind of like I'm cross-eyed a little bit sometimes. Still have some goals for jujitsu, but I want to be able to do it and stay active.
So you made your pro MMA debut on a big regional promotion, Icon. It's a promotion Jorge Masvidal was the face of. Dean Toole, the matchmaker, had some great fights in there. You were on that first card. You won a very nice heel hook finish, first minute of the contest. What was it like to make a debut on a stage like that, and had Jorge Masvidal's name on it?
It was really exciting. I didn't think I was gonna like get an opportunity like that, and I it was a little weird because like I thought I was gonna fight earlier, and then I fought like I was like after the main event, and they were able to squeeze me. I'm really grateful for that, because like I didn't know how like how that whole it was just new for me. I was just used to getting it taped up, and then putting my shin guards and getting taped up. It was just like a whole different thing. I was nervous, but at the same time, I was grateful that I had like people that were supporting me, and like I fought so close to home, and I fight in Texas more now, so like I don't really get that reception as much. So I was really happy with mostly that. I try to stay like, um present and in the moment when I'm there. And I was grateful for the opportunity. I wish they would do it again. I'm not really up for bare knuckle MMA, unless I'm like, heading towards out my, out of the career. If I could make, like a good, make a good fight. Make some good money. But like that's if I'm 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Right now, I have 2 feet on the door at like towards this MMA path, and hopefully I can make it to a big show.
Coming off of 2024, what a great year for you, man. You were very active. 3 great victories for Fury. Coming off of a big injury. Overall, what was that experience like, man? It was 24. What are the takeaways from it all?
So like in 2023, most of 2023 I was injured, and then I would say like 3/4 of it I was injured, and then like the last quarter, like I remember I was just trying to get my confidence back to get back in there and like really do it because like it took it takes away from like what you work hard for. I felt like I couldn't. Like I couldn't like I was just questioning like, is this for me? Like it's just something any normal person would kind of reflect on. So um again, I'm grateful to just be able to just do what I do. I tell myself that before I fight. Like, just I'm grateful that I'm here. I'm able to do what I love to do. I could be doing something else. I could be doing something that's not making me happy. So I know like I'm taking risks, but I'm I'm uh I'm doubling down on it, and I'm investing in myself. I'm betting on myself, and you know whatever happens, I'm just glad like I'm not like looking back. I'm not gonna have a regret. I'm just gonna do it. I have to do this. That's
So
how it
you've
feels.
been doing really great for Fury. I mean, that's promotion that generates so many guys that go to the UFC. They have a stacked roster. You feel like you're getting close to that title shot there.
Yeah, maybe after one more fight. I was trying to get on the March 23rd card, but I saw it got full. I know they got a lot of guys on their roster, so I'm just gonna wait. Hopefully April something pops up. I applied for a jiu-jitsu match in like March 14th in Orlando, Florida. So hopefully I get that. I'm trying to just stay active, I like to stay as active as possible so I can, just I like competing still like in jiu-jitsu. So it keeps me competitive. I won't do too many because I don't want to get injured. And I still want to stay focused on what I'm doing. But I like it. And there's a lot of good fighters that do that. But at some point, I will have to put it on like on the back burner, so that way I can focus more on like if I get noticed and I get put on something a big show or get an opportunity like Contender Series or something like that. But I would love to have the opportunity to win a pro title. That would be like a dream come true for me, to be honest.
So many people are watching this sport now. I mean, you can watch fights. I mean, it's crazy. If you're talking about UFC, PFL, regional promotions, you literally watch fights like 4 or 5 days out of the week now. And, one thing that I think is being so relevant in the fight game is entertainment and personality. You're seeing guys now put on facades. They're characters. They're straight up doing things because they know they're going to get a title shot. They know it's going to sell money. They know they're going to be a bigger name. How do you feel like entertainment and personality has affected mixed martial arts?
I mean, I think it's great. I wish I had a little bit more of it, to be honest, because like I think that like people want to see a good show, and I definitely don't want to be a person that the fans don't care about. I want people to to cheer me on, whether it's like like if they want to see me lose or if they want to see me win. I want people to be taught. I want to be relevant in that sense, but I also want to still stay myself. So I like my fighting, and I'll do a little bit of talking too, but just enough, I think.
There's so many
I,
people. Or finish off, please.
well, I don't have any. I was presented names, and I guess it didn't align, but I got two offers, to fight, and in Fury, and I haven't gotten a response back, so I don't know whether that was like if they denied me or whatnot, but as soon as I get a name, like my eyes are on you, and I'm after it. I'm gonna be after you.
There's so many people who watch the sport, and now we have a term called the casual fan. These are guys that are usually drunk. They go to B dubs, they watch the fights, they like to yell, twist them in the you know what, maybe all these crazy takes. Overall, what do you think of this whole casual fan concept? Is it good for the sport? Is it just something we have to live with?
Fans are fans, they need it. I mean, at the end of the day, they don't care about, my health or the fighter's health, but, like, as a fighter, I feel for other fighters when I see them, because it's a sport I do, but I it's good to have fans, it's good, we need it, and, they pay their money to watch us fight, and we they are definitely owed a show for sure. So I would always try to put myself out there as much as I can without hurting myself too much.
The casual fans watch it, but one thing I think they fail to realize, they look at the McGregors, the Masvidals, the Habibs, and they're like, wow, it must be unbelievable to be a fighter. It's the greatest lifestyle ever. Little do they know, man, battling it on the regional scene, man, you're losing money for the most part. A lot of guys have that 9 to 5 job to fund this. Some are married with a wife, some have kids. You have to wake up early, miss birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, stay up late, do this every single day to chase the dream. You've been at it for a long time, my friend. What's made you want to keep punching and kicking forward?
Well, at the end of the day, I'd like to have my own gym, and I'd like to the people that I teach to have the trust that I know what I'm doing, like, oh, this is the guy that's trained competitively at a professional level, and because there's a lot of people that want to just do jujitsu and a lot of people that just want to do MMA, and I want to be able to cater to different audiences, I want to have an environment where I can have like, like a family type of environment. I want to have a competitive type of environment as well. So I'm a fan of both, and the sport and martial arts has given me so much. I couldn't be who I am without it. It's been in my outlet, and it's been an avenue for me to just express myself and grow into the person I am today. So I feel like a duty for me to give back, and one way or another, whether it's a gym here in Florida or in a gym somewhere else, in another state or country, I definitely want to give back in some way, and at the same time, like, have a good time. I want to have that environment that means so much to me. I'm sorry. Can we go back on that question again? I kind of like went off too much.
Yeah, for you, what is the ultimate goal? What are you wanting to accomplish here?
That part, like the fighting, there's a gym, but the fighting part is, I need to do this. It's like for my soul, I had a friend that recently retired. He went on to become a police officer, and he's someone that's been in the American top team family. Like his dad's a black belt. Like I don't have any other influences to do martial arts. I actually just found out that my grandpa used to like to box. My parents are from Peru, and my grandpa used to like to box. So no one in my family was into combat sports, and I was like, wow, like maybe that's where I got it from, So like like I said, I have a friend. He recently retired, and I'm proud of him for whatever he does. But and then someone that I look up to, and I admire, you know because he's been doing it since he was little, a kid, baby. So I wanna like for me this is like I don't have anything else pushing me towards this. It's just coming from me, and I've everything I've achieved has been with my two hands, and I just want to like I need this for my soul. I need to go as far as I can, whether it's like for a huge championship, or if it's just like, at least, hey, I did the most that I can. At least I can sit with that.
For you personally, what does it mean to call yourself a mixed martial artist?
I consider myself a martial artist. I wanted to learn jujitsu from a Brazilian. I started at a kung fu place, and then I switched. I was like, hey, like I need to find the right direction. I learned striking from like my coach Steve Bruno is great. I've had a bunch of different striking coaches over the years, but Steve Bruno, he's great. He mixes it up the best. He's like a true martial artist, and he resonates with me. And he's been with me since day one, since I've been at the American Top Team. I go to like Pennsylvania to learn wrestling from Americans. Like I'm a martial artist. Like and I love learning things by itself. So I need that's something that's what I think. I think I'm a martial artist. I don't think of myself as a mixed martial artist, but as going back to like mixing it up, you know I feel like if I just learn everything and then I unlearn some of the things and I learn how to mesh it together well and with the right guidance, because I know I have great guidance. I'll become a great product.
You're really making a name for yourself now. 5-0 fighter with a lot of upside to you. Obviously, we want to focus on what's ahead. We want to focus on more regional fights. But every summer they do the Dana White Contender Series. Is that something maybe in your mind? Maybe not this summer, next summer.
I would like to be able to do it this summer. I feel like this is it could be a big year for me, and I've been working really hard for this, and I think it's my time. And whoever's next, they're in my way, and I'm ready to just chase my dreams.
What would it mean for you to fight in the UFC?
I think that like I never had a dream to be in the UFC, but it opens a lot of doors, and I've seen that like they take care of some people really well, and I just want to like I said, it's I feel like I need to do this for my soul, and I would like to test myself, and that's what gets me that's what gets me excited. I feel like whenever I get like a call to fight anyone, whether it's anybody, like I just start getting that adrenaline. My anxiety comes up, and it could be someone that I know I could beat. I'm like, oh, I know I could beat this guy, and I get all anxious, and then I calm myself down after a little bit. And I'm like, oh, he's just another man. He's just another man. It's okay, and that just pumps me up. It's like kind of like uh like I'm ready to I'm ready to just go out and go for it. Like kind of like a samurai mindset type of thing. I'm excited to go to battle.
Do you think in one way, shape, or form you're going to be involved in some sort of mixed martial art or martial art for your whole life?
I mean, yeah, like I said, I want to have a gym, and I want to have fighters under me, whether it's jujitsu or MMA. And I want to support people, and like I said, I teach, so I talk to people. They trust me, and they push themselves, and they trust me to guide them. Like I like helping people, and just giving back like I've been helped.
While you haven't fought in like a huge promotion yet, you've already went viral. You went viral from that Boogie Slam, one of your competitions. What was that whole experience like?
Well, I mean, the guy's wife was like right there, so like it was like it was it was a little scary. I felt bad. I saw like Craig Jones was there, and my friend that was there that went on the trip with me. He was like he wanted to high five me, but I had like my head down or something like that because I felt so bad. I thought I was gonna get disqualified, and apparently they changed the rules on that tournament. When you get put in a submission, you're allowed to slam your way out in the ADCC, but now apparently they changed it. You have to slam. You can't slam them on their head. You can't spike. You can only slam on their back. So it's a little different. Apparently, I had a friend. He did the ADCC Open in Toronto, and he told me like they dropped my name there, and they're like, yeah, they changed the rules because of me. So that was cool. But me and that guy are cool. It's hope he's doing good. I think he's competing again now.
Awesome. All right, man. Last question for you. So we're just really getting into the year, about to be in March, still another 10 months left of 2025. In a perfect world, how does this year play out for you, my friend?
I'd like to get two fights in before August is over, and hopefully have a shot at a contender series. That would be great. I, I, uh, that's like that would make it perfect. And then if I could get 3 or 4 fights this year, that'd be great. If I was able to fight in the UFC by the end of the year, that'd be amazing. I'll make sure I'm ready. I'm putting in that work.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, Mauricio, thank you so much for your time tonight. Awesome catching up with you, and hope to see you fight soon. And, hopefully maybe in August we spot you on the Contender Series.
Thank you, brother.
Absolutely. That's it for us tonight. I'm Carl Peruzza. That's Mauricio Gomez. You watch him Fury. I'm sure he'll be in action sometime soon. Take it easy, fight fans.